name is Dennis Ochenge. I work for Caritas Microfinance Bank as the head of business development. I've been in that place and that institution for almost since when it started. So when a young man of us will not know about it, maybe I think I want to say for many of us, because we are above 18 years, one of the when you're above 18 years, you are asked to have a national ID, right? What is the essence of having a national identification card? Is it because parents say you need to have a national identification card? No. Not local, not regional, but national. So part of the reasons why you, of course, is to be identified nationally. And currently, when you have an ID, you must have a KRA pin, right? Ili uanze the new story in town, kulipa usuru ni? Because all of you are taxpayers. You also need to be aware, because that is part of the national philosophy. And if, because an ID and the KRA pin assumes that one, you can also have meaningful employment, because you cannot employ a person who is below the age of 18. But I think for today I will introduce the institution and what I do as I come to the end, because I've had part of what is expected of us is also to say how do we link you to the market. So I've seen a good balance from those who are here for both genders. At times one is skewed to the other. But by so once, how many are ready? Let me count them. If you are ready, you just raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the gentlemen, let us raise our hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. Can we clap for ourselves? I don't mean to start from the gender, because the toughest challenge we have in this country is around the boy child. So when I think out of my very busy schedule, coming and realizing 2/3 are gentlemen, for me is very satisfying and very gratifying. For the simple reason that we tend to have left them, how do you call it, what you assist. If there are people who have been really left behind, who need to be mentored, are the men and the boys in this country. Yeah, they were, in fact, it's like they were abandoned. So when I come and I realize part of the audience I'm meeting are the upcoming men of responsibility, not of irresponsibility, I really want to appreciate for that you found time. You would have been doing something else, okay? But you decided to come. And I'm saying this, I didn't know what you were preparing. Even I was not prepared to come. I think you know who was to come. We participate in a lot of interviews, especially when we are looking for staff. And I can tell you, without a shadow of doubt, chances of picking a boy child are so low. So unfortunate. Because they come not prepared, they are not aware, they just come. And the main challenge is, at times you see a gentleman who has not been nurtured, who has not been mentored, who has not been coached, who is not unheard. Also you find people who are generally lazy, because at times you ask, if you are not prepared, you should not have come. I think for me to find a group like this, having come, I think one is very, very extremely encouraging. I've heard most of you are campus students, or you are finished campus. All of you are campus students. Others are finished. Those who are finished, vice versa, let me see them. When you memaliza, nyinyi ndio mnaulizwa experience iko wapi, right? Because you are the ones who are looking for jobs. And when you apply, you see part of the CV says at least 2 years experience. That's the minimum we ask, okay? And you ask, so where do I get the experience from, right? And at times you feel frustrated. But also nobody is going to employ you if you don't have experience. So the question is, where do you get the experience from? So for those who are at least who have finished college, I think it's good to know that at times the difference between you and getting the job, or you and getting meaningful and gainful employment, is who do you talk to. And I think that is the essence of also today's exercise, that you need to learn who do you talk to. As I heard my colleague is an accountant. I don't know where auditors are around. By training, maybe I give myself a brief profile of who I am. I've said where I work, but I did education, so bachelor's degree in education from Kenyatta University. That's a while back, and I graduated 14 years ago. So I'm not that young.
I begin to talk, we all see the same university. Yes, right.
So 14 years ago. But also I did CPA. We used to call it CPA. So I'm a certified public accountant. I'm a member of Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, and we call it in good standing. I think after I done those, I came to this university where I did my master's sometimes back. And it's 10 years ago. So 10 years ago is such a long time. Many of you were in lower primary, right? It also tells you at times time flies, but also you have a good reason. I don't know any one of you. So when we come, join you, get to talk to you, not because of anything, also you should get very encouraged. So I've previously worked in a number of institutions. When I was growing up, I wanted to be an accountant. The reason why I wanted to be an accountant is because some of the friends I used to see when I was in secondary school, who could come, buy us a lot of nyama, drink very well. When you are given, what do you call it? That 1 liter or 2 liters of, there were some choices which used to be, I don't know whether they were yellowish, I don't know whether they still exist. And you are very happy because if you are in high school and you are given a whole liter of some twist to drink. It used to have a lot of sugar. I can't recall it is not proper. But he was an accountant, so I thought accountants are very good. So there are people who have a lot of money. Then my life as an accountant began. Did work for almost 2 years. I thought accounting is not good enough. I became an auditor for another 2 years. And I realized it's a bit boring. The reason being, for those who want to be auditors, you may enjoy it, but some of us, you realize you are checking on what people did. They posted the wrong entry, they never followed the policy, the controls were not working. So you are technically trying to, do some form of, I think the best description, there is no remedial, because it's not a proactive, you are not preventing. You are looking at after an event has happened. And so I realized maybe this is not something I want to do. And I think then after I decided to join banking. The work of a business development is to look for business. Looking for business is to talk to people. Because there is no business without talking to people. And at times it's the most boring job because at times you talk to people who are not interested, even when that's what they are looking for. But it's very exciting because also you have a chance to transform people. You have a chance to change people's perceptions and do many other things. So that's what I've been doing for a while. But also in the process, and in line with the discussions of it today, we are having today. You also come to realize the level of illiteracy in this country is so high. Being illiterate is not knowing how to read or write. Because at times we assume that people are illiterate because they cannot read or write. What you do not know is you are illiterate. Because if you do not know something, you are illiterate. And the most profound lesson I've learned over time, people are financially illiterate. People are financially illiterate. Why am I saying so? The first one is whenever we talk of careers, whenever we talk of aspirations of others, at times we think what you do matters. And it's the same reason I've heard there are people who do what is this one? Photography production. Okay. There are parents, if they were ever thought take their children to do this course, they will say no. Hapa kunanga pe? That happens, okay? But when you look at them, you say they are financially illiterate. Because they think some works, if you are given 1,000 shillings, it is of the same value. Whether given by a guy who is attending to patients right in the ward or in mortuary, whether the people are dead or alive, whether it is done by people who are digging graves or by people who are doing construction, the value of the money remains the same. I think the other bit also about financial literacy is we know the value of money, but we don't want to put the hard work which is required of it. We know that for sure we require to make our lives more meaningful, but we don't want to work the way some of those things are supposed to be done. So the consequence of it is we are a nation of beggars. We are a nation of, and that is then it becomes a huge challenge. So around me today to take you through a few things around issues to do with finance, and which I also will be talking a few aspects here and there about personal reflections of life. At your age, you have such a great opportunity to make your life very meaningful. But first and foremost, it requires that you are aware of who you are. That's not my area of specialization. But I'm always told that for those people who have discovered where they were born, they tend to make very good decisions in life. They tend to live a very meaningful life. Say that one, you are self-aware. Who are you? What is your strength? What are your capabilities? What are you capable of doing? What you are not capable of doing? And where you need to seek for assistance, then you are able to reach out and seek for assistance. That sense of self-awareness is what will make us to lead a very meaningful life. Is what will make us to say, I don't think I should be an accountant. I think I should be somebody else. I don't think I should be an engineer. I should be a doctor. I think maybe I'm a graphic designer. I should not have been. Because at times we do courses and academic courses, which for sure we are convinced it's not what we want. And that is self-awareness. Are you aware of who you are and what are your capabilities? Then number two is to set your goals. Don't expect somebody to set goals for you. Some of us can guide you, but we are not going to set goals for you. And the goals can be short-term, goals can be immediate, can be short-term, medium-term, and long-term. Allow me to explain and expound on that. Because you are aware and you want to set your goals. Maybe short-term is to get to improve on your ability to do certain things. If it's a particular course you want to do, the beauty is a lot of online courses. You are so privileged to be in the midst of town. Some of you do not know what it means to work, and you know that you are in Nairobi until you go to some funny universities. I call them funny because they are. Because even if you wanted to go for a place for attachment, it's not there. The guys you interact with, and they are universities, but you have a certain privilege which you need to take advantage of. So set immediate goals. What do you need to fix? If you are drinking and you are drinking a lot of alcohol without using your money, you start stopping because it does not need a lot of decision. You make that decision, stop it. If it's a habit you need to change, you just those ones which you can change, you change. But if it's a cause, just undertake it. If you want to start saving, you start doing the same. But that's about setting goals. Those which can be done within a week, within a month, within 2 months, within 3 months. I may call them immediate. And then you have short-term goals, but between now and the end of the year. For example, today we are in Feb, but we know between now and June, between now and the end of the year, what do I need to do? A bit of short-term goals. Is it to because they depend of also your level of self-awareness. So, and I think those are decisions you need to make and decisions you need to do. But if they are in respect to financial matters, then we expect that you somehow you have a budget, because when you set the goals in finance matters, we talk of also you have set your budgets. But at least you need to know what do you need to do in the short term. If for sure you have completed a canvas and you are on, tunasema uko kwa hiyo, you are tamaking, that's what they call it. But also you are doing your side hustles. And then it basically means you need to be very clear what are you planning to do and what is the step to step. It cannot happen overnight. The beauty is, I've had my colleagues say, there is no way you can be rich too soon, too quick. Even if you became, you will not sustain it. And because many of us are also people who watch a lot of football. How many Arsenal fans are in the house? Wale wa Arsenal too. There is no harm kuinua mkono if you are an Arsenal fan. It's only one. So I assume the rest are Manchester United, right? Yes. Who is the most paid? Who is the most expensive player in this world? The most expensive. Mwenye analipa pesa mingi. Huh? Cristiano Ronaldo, the most expensive, right? And everybody, if they knew, they would wish to be like Cristiano Ronaldo. Earns a lot of. How much does he earn per year or per week? How much?
700,000 euros.
So 700,000 euros is how much in Kenya shillings? No, just I've given you time. Yeah. The big is you have your phones have calculators, or even if you never had, you are so sharp, or you don't know what is the conversion rate for the euro. 54 million. 84. That's per week.
A month.
That's per month. Then that math does not add up. So, but assuming it is that 84 million, and the exchange rate you have used, I think also may not be very correct. That's a lot of money, right? Si ni pesa mingi sana analipwa. Now, among the richest persons on earth, wale wakihesabiwa from number 1, where do you think Cristiano Ronaldo ranks? So, but admitted you are saying he's not among the top 10. Are you got top 50? Are you got top 100? Are you got top 200? He does not feature. So that also takes us to, at times it's not how much you are paid. It's not how much you are paid. It's what you do with the money. And what you do with the money is about what are your goals in life. Because when you hear of them, they have put a lot of vehicles, the best of the best, but which they do not need, right? So you agree what are your immediate short term, what are your medium term goals? In 2 to 3 years time, what do you want to be doing? What are some of the goals? Maybe you need to have gone back to, enhance your education, either have that professional certification or professional qualification. Maybe you need, for those who want to start families, because there are also those who want to start families. For those of you who feel like you need to have assisted your parent, give back. Assist your parents, get to step rise, assist your siblings, whatever sort of goals. But it must be very clear. And I'm telling you, because the difference between those who will do and those who will not do, or those who will achieve and those who will not achieve, is on, did you set your goals? And are you monitoring those goals? Because if you are not doing it, then you can't achieve much. And you will start blaming everybody. You will blame the economy. When you are tired with the economy, you blame your friends. You stop blaming your friends. You blame your relatives. You blame everybody, including your parents. And it's because you never did the right stuff. But critically, you need to set up your long-term goals. General long-term goals is when we talk of in 5 to 10 years to come. Who do you want to be? And by the way, you think 10 years is such a long time until it happens. And you start asking yourself, now, are you able to account what you have done for the last 10 years? Apart from having gone through class and from class 5 to you finish college and you have started earning a living, are you able to account for your time properly? At times no, right? And I'm telling you, the next 10 years, if you do not plan yourself, you will not see what will be happening. You will find time, it just went. It just disappeared. And at times, if you want to know time moves very fast. Today is 28. The month is February. So we are officially month number 2, right? So if we are officially month number 2, by the end of today, we would have done 17% of the year. Because if you count the year 100%, 17% is being done today. So that tells you our time, but you can't recall. You just tulimaliza Christmas the other day, January came, ilikuwa ndefu, tumecomplain jua, January mzima tumecomplain jua, the entire of February. But we are, in terms of the year, we have done 17%, because each day counts. So how do you set your goals and make sure that they are monitored? You may not achieve everything, but at least you need to make progress. Now, what you have to do in the medium term is what determines, especially at this age, the life you live after. And let me explain on it. That the most solid foundation of your life and of your career is laid between when you join, I don't want to talk of secondary school, between college and 3 years after college. Because if it's a career, during college, if you are very disciplined, you have done you have run time management, because campus is around how do you manage yourself. Those who do not manage themselves, who are allowed to be managed by their colleagues, by the society, by the political noise, you damage your career completely. But what you do within the campus period, and 3 years, at most 4 years after campus, determines who you become in life. Thereafter is to do catch up. And that catch up may happen or may never happen. And that's why, if, for example, you have finished campus, how you spend your 1 year, 2 years, determines your earning ability. Because if you get yourself an attachment, you behave right, very hardworking, you don't need to be told, wake up. Because if you need to wake up, right? Even you have been given an assignment to do the assignment. Those 2 years, a person who has entered a job market within 2 years, the foundation they have laid is so strong to an extent. Another person who is joining after 2 years, the difference in earning power can be even 5 times. So what do you do, especially after really determine so much? Keeping in mind, you have set your immediate goals, you have your short term, your medium term, and long term. But your immediate term, especially for the group we are talking about here, is what determines who you become. But savings is a very important virtue, because if whatever your plans require money, you need to start with how much do you have of your own money, how much of your own. The challenge we have in this country, because of all of us have funds, we borrow instead of starting with, do I have my own? I can tell you without a shadow of doubt, there is no way you can make it in Man Matters if you don't run the art of saving. Saving is not how much you make. Saving is how much you sacrifice. Because saving is about foregoing some expenses, some needs. Saving is about deciding, I don't want to go to Chicken Inn, I want to go to another place. Saving is about saying, I don't need to buy a suit of 5,000 if I can work with another one. It's about, you must sacrifice for you to save. And that virtue must be learned early enough. Otherwise, I'm saying we'll be having a nation of beggars, where we are paying right, left, and center. And now you can imagine, as a country, that's where we are in. Because the problem this country has is madeni tuko nayo ni mingi sana. We cannot live within our means. So I'm also training you that one of the things you need to do is to save. But you must, even before we talk of where do you save, you must build the discipline of saving. So for the ladies and others, I think the good ladies who are here can really articulate it. If you don't want to be seen to be that you are at the mercy of somebody, you must run from the word go to save. It does not matter how much. If out of 100 shillings we are able to save 5, good. But run to save. Because out of saving, then the other skill, which is the reason why they asked who is the most expensively paid person we know vis-a-vis where they rank. In this country, the people who are employed are so few. The private sector in this country employs 3 million Kenyans, all of them, where the government employs 1 million. So the total number of people who are employed formally in this country stand at less than 5 million. The number of people who come to the job market every other time, they are close to 1 million, around 800,000. So statistically, there are no enough formal jobs. So the other option which is left then is self-employment. Self-employment is being entrepreneurs, being businessmen, and women. And it's a route you cannot avoid. Because even those of us who are formally employed, we are always asking, we need to we need a side hustle. The side hustle should be the main one, because now currently we are saying, okay, I think we need to properly sift. The challenge in this country is sifting initially because of we were not trained, run to save, run to build capital, because savings building capital. So we must be formally employed for us to build capital. That is the challenge this country has. So then on the journey of when we talk of if you can't get formally employed, then you need to, don't run the skills of self-employment, rather run them early enough. Small things. Can you be able to save? Can you be able to trade? Can you work hard? Can you work extra mile? Those small things which need to be done. I don't discourage you from doing whatever you have to do, as long as it is legal and does not affect your social way of life. Because also, we have too many people in this country who are depressed, because even they can't talk to one another. But let me encourage us that we need to learn the art of saving, the discipline of savings, because out of it, then you can talk of borrowing. In this country, we have reversed. When we look at statistics, last year, 316 billion was used for betting. How much? 316 billion. Safaricom earned 9 billion income from people who did betting. Now, you have seen one guy, he won 200 million, right? What is 200 million out of 316 billion? It's not even 1%. So who is making money? So unless you are the owner of the business, you are part of those who are playing a con game. Because the people who serve out of that game, there are so many. So many. By the times we think the guys who are winning also. And the reason why I'm also saying this, you need to be aware that you don't also engage. Because, and out of that amount which was used in betting, we saw in terms of the reasons for borrowing by the youth. It's done by Kenya National Bureau of Statistics and what we call FinAccess, Financial Sector Deepening. The borrowing by the youth, number 3, they were borrowing to bet. The number 3 reason why the youth were borrowing. They borrow to now, so those are habits which need to be dealt with and which need to be managed. Because I told you earlier that how you spend your years in campus and immediately post campus determine who you become. Now, if anything happens to that market, these are the guys now you realize who become criminals outside here. Because if they don't have a way of life, they are into drugs, they are wasted, they are done those things. And I want to encourage the men I saw here today. Because also the same statistics, who are the people who are doing betting? See, this is your vision.